Guys, welcome back to Defeating Hair Loss. Great to be back. I'm Steve. Bobby D is back with me.
As always.
Welcome back, baby.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Look at that hair. Higher, higher, higher.
It gets higher and higher every time I see
each
it.
time. It looks great. Welcome back. Great to be back. Bobby,
Yes,
what's going on the street, man? What's happening with Before They Were Bald?
Got another one, Steve. Jason Statham. If you're familiar with him, he's been in, the Transporter series, The Meg, and Expendables. All good movies.
Oh, great movies. Great movies, man. That's all. Yes, Jason Statham. So, I think you probably know this. Jason Statham is one of these guys that there's an argument out there. Yes, even in Steve Michaels' world, there's an argument that if you shave your head, you're going to look super cool. Mm-hmm. He is the poster boy for that. He is a really good looking guy. He's chiseled body, martial artist, huge fan. I actually enjoy those Transporter series so much. I can't remember which one is which, but I know the first one with like the really smoking hot Chinese girl or Asian girl. Mm-hmm. That one was really good. But anyway, I really enjoy his acting. He's got the accent. He's got the look. He's even got that kind of European kind of skin color. Mm-hmm. Like the SMP ads where they make those guys that have a little bit of that Italian or, French tone on their bodies, the color. So he really pulls it off. That's a great find. Yeah. I have researched him before, Bobby, to be frank with you. And, one of the things about him is he's one of the very few I won't tell you how many years that I've been studying this stuff, but he's one of the few guys that shaves the head completely. Mm-hmm. Another one doesn't look as handsome, but still a really good actor is the Captain Picard from Star Trek, The Next Generation. A little more white, a little more kind of oddly shaped head, not as handsome, but still pulls it off pretty well. Mm-hmm. But they completely shaved the head. And why do I say it that way? Well, because I was never a fan for kind of like that alien kind of light bulb look, That's why we need hair on our heads. Mm-hmm. But I noticed that, he didn't really he wasn't really famous when he had some hair. And he did, obviously, like all of us, start off with a lot of hair. Mm-hmm. He became famous and he hit it in a couple movies or some, supporting roles or whatnot. And he had kind of like that Bruce Willis kind of, what's his name? Losing it now. Jack Nicholson in the front, and he had that, but he shaved it. So if you look at him through the years, this stuff's easy to Google. We'll throw something up on the screen. And if you look at him, even though it's shaved, it still has the impression that he's got that peak in front. Now, what I will say, and here's another guy that can MMA me to death, so I got to be careful, is that he has now lost that. Obviously, he's not taking the medication. He doesn't need to. He's very successful. He gets tons of roles and doesn't look much different. But to me, since he lost that front peak, even with it shaved, now he kind of looks more like those skinhead bald guys that kind of all look the same.
Yeah, I kind of do, Steve.
Right?
Yeah.
That's something that we didn't want to...
No, absolutely not, Steve.
And it works for him, right? So Before They Were Bald. So that's what this is all about, right? So, he really wasn't really hitting his stride acting-wise before he went bald. But even when he went bald in our world, because he was shaving his head, he still had enough hair, in my opinion, to frame his face. And that's just one more thing that we like to talk about here on this channel, is how important it is from a male perspective with this example, that even with a balding person, the Jack Nicholsons of the world, through his career, he's really old now, the Bruce Willises, who was super famous and, had great roles, great actor, and was losing his hair kind of on a consistent basis. Mm-hmm. And then when they go to shave it like completely, it's completely bald, it's not a look that I like.
No.
That's why we get along, right?
Exactly, Steve.
So again, obviously before he went bald, he wasn't really much of anything. So the argument that you could make tonight is that, in the process of becoming famous, he was going bald. So he is the exception to the rule. Mm-hmm. Nice. He is the exception to the rule. So Jason Statham, we give you our kudos. You're a super good looking guy. I'm sure all the ladies out there watching this channel would agree. Yeah. And I guess the body has something to do with that. The accent has something to do with that. The skin tone has something to do with that. So good for you. You're super rich and famous. Before we leave this segment, I want to just kind of recap and bring up something that we had talked about before. Ironically, as crazy as this sounds, and I swear I wasn't flipping channels or anything, I was on some stupid thing on the internet and I saw the Happy Days reunion.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Okay,
The Fonz, man.
The Fonz. So the Happy Days reunion, and there's just these still photos. And we had talked about how successful Richie Cunningham, and how amazing he's an actor, a director, and all that kind of stuff. But when he was really famous as a kid and on Happy Days, he had hair, American Pie and all that kind of stuff, American Graffiti. And then he, of course, lost the hair. So, of course, in the photos, along with Potsy, that was one of the characters. Ralph, that was one of the characters. Everybody knows the Fonz, although it's all white. One of the characters, he's got hair. Ralph is kind of balding, but in a natural way, not really quick. So, I feel bad, but at the same time, he had a hat on. So Richie Cunningham, again, huge fan, Happy Days, American Graffiti, Mayberry RFD, Andy Griffith Show, all that stuff while you had hair, but you didn't let it slow you down. You lost your hair, and unlike me, you continued to fight and survive being bald. You put a hat on, and you just killed it. You're one of the best directors out there now, and our hats go off to you.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Hey, you going to come back real soon?
Always.
Thanks so much, Bobby. Don't forget to like and subscribe.